There's one, and that old slop. You get that big weight, flip it up in there. Oh! And I want you to see the importance of something here, where this hook is. Guys, that is the hardest part of the fish's jaw. The very top, the bone is what we call it. If you see where this trocar hook is, it is straight through that bone. Now this is a beautiful quality fish. Once again, 7-9, super heavy rod, left-handed reel. You could see how quick I set the hook on that fish. That fish was not coming off. I'm out here in the beautiful state of Florida, South Florida, fishing one of my favorite lakes, flipping big, giant, thick junk mats with the creature hog, power bait, max scent, black and blue. This time of the year, this is a nice quality fish right here. You see how fat she is? Today we're talking about the flipping stick. Man, I can't tell you what I would have done not knowing about the flipping stick. And being from Florida, we're down in South Florida today. This thing has evolved with me since I was probably around 18 or 20. You know what's weird is my grandfather and my dad, they were topwater and worm fishermen. They didn't know nothing about flipping. And me and my brothers, we had to learn how to flip on our own. And we knew how to cast. We knew where to put a lure. We knew where to cast a worm to, but we knew nothing about flipping. And watching these guys in the tournaments and just come in with these giant bags of fish going, how is this possible? And watching where they were, it was a mystery that I wanted to solve. And I wanted to become a better fisherman and learn how to flip. So I went down to the store, I gathered up a bunch of weights and hooks and some baits, and I just started going out there and flipping and trying different ways and different techniques. And a friend of mine, his name's John Halls, he brought me out here on Lake Kissimmee one day, and he flipped with a left-handed reel. And he said, I want you to try this. I could not stand it. And the next day we had a tournament. I'm out there flipping with a left-handed reel. The first bite I get, it's a 7-pound, 2-ounce bass. I go to grab the right hand of the reel to set the hook. Of course, it's not there. The hook set was good enough. And I got the fish in, and from then I was hooked. And when I was fighting that 1 7-pounder, which is a big fish now, it's fortunate for me it was a 7-pounder, but it could have been a 2 3-pounder, it wouldn't have mattered. But when I was reeling that fish in with my left hand, that's when I was hooked on a left-handed reel. And it really just makes more sense for right-handed people to use a left-handed reel. But that's my story, kind of how I started becoming a flipper. And man, between the jigs and the 2-ounce weights, the 1.5 down to 3/8 down to 3/16, flipping has been just a tool that I'm still learning new different tips and techniques about. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite ways, and that's punching through heavy cover. Mat flipping. Down here in Florida, we get a lot of mats that get blown in. We get Hurricane Irma has just come through this year, so she's created a disaster in a lot of our lakes. And what happens is the water raises and stuff like this behind me blows out into the middle of the lake. It gets hung up in these lily pads and creates a giant canopy for these fish to get under. Of course, you think Florida, you think giant bass, and that is true, but a lot of times 2-pounders, 3-pounders, 4-pounders, up to 10, up to 11 pounds I've caught under junk mats. But once you get your confidence in flipping like I have now, guys, I'm telling you, there's not a better way to catch some great big fish. From the fall to the spring to the summer, from the winter, flipping is something that is a must, And I'm hoping that the tips and techniques, the rod choice and reels that I use today are going to make you a better flipper and put more fish and catch the fish of a lifetime.